Hey Cam, what you doing?
Oh, Roothy, how you going? I just thought we'd better check the wheel bearings after doing about 2,000 k's now.
This is a new trailer, you've done 2,000 k's?
Yep, it's a brand new trailer. We like to check them about 1,500, but obviously when it prevails for it to be easy to do. So we thought on this stop that we'd do it.
And wheel bearings are probably the critical part of any caravan or camper trailer or anything. They really are the part that takes the most work. They're the big moving part we have. And in fact, if you see someone broken down on the side of the road, there's a fair chance it's going to be wheel bearing failure. It nearly always is. Now, I've got my way of doing this. I reckon Cam's probably got his. How do you find your perfect tension?
Well, first of all, we try to establish how loose we think they are, Ruthie, you know. So, best thing to do, jack the vehicle up the side that you want to do. If you want to do both, it's convenient, jack both up. Give the wheel a little wobble, and you'll normally feel a little bit of movement,
bit of side play
in it. So depending on how bad that is, gives you a fair idea of how to tension it.
If you can't feel any at all, by the way, if you can't feel any side play, the next thing to check for is to see if you've got any spin. Because if you've got no spin, the bearing might have tightened up. Not the bearing, but the big nut on the end here, not you Cam, this one here, the big nut that we use to tension down on these bearings. Now, when you see one of these things in bits, they're tapered bearings. They come in on an angle like this, which is why tension is critical. All wheel bearings these days are that sort of bearing, a tapered bearing. And you can imagine, you know, you tighten it a half turn too far, it acts like a brake, doesn't it? It slows the wheel down. You back it off a turn or so too loose, and the thing can flop around a little bit. So you need to get it just right, and checking wheel bearings is a vital component of any caravan, camper, trailer. You know, if you're going to do some serious mileage, you've got to know how to do this, haven't you?
Yes, certainly.
Certainly. So you've got the feel for it because you've done it a million times. But can you try and tell us, you know, you've checked for side play?
Yeah, check for side play. Spin the wheel, see how freely it spins. At the moment. Best thing to actually do is try and get it so you get some sort of timing involved with. When you spin the wheel, you actually want the wheel to actually slow down at some stage. That'll actually give you your right pressures on your wheel bearing.
That tells you you've got just a little bit of drag on those bearings.
Yeah, and that's what you need to have.
Right.
You need to have that.
And at that stage, then you can put the split pin back in and you're away.
That's right. It's all done.
Yeah.
You're ready to rock and roll.
Now the only thing I'd add to that, the only thing that I do that's any different, and this is probably because I've spent a lot of time mucking around with old vehicles and quite often replace wheel bearings in these things, is I have a habit of tightening down that nut a fair way and then opening it off until I get my correct free play, my drag, I guess you'd call it. So you get that right, you've got very little chance of anything else going wrong with this unit, eh?
No, definitely.
Yeah, too right. Good on you, mate. And don't you forget, you check your wheel bearings too occasionally, eh?